Hello, and welcome to this week's edition of Runes and Red Tape, the storytelling channel where magic meets paperwork and epic quests have to be approved in triplicate. Oh, and please remember to hit that like and subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything and it really helps the channel out. Right then, this week's story is called The Gatekeeper. Did you bring the scroll? Ali was the self-appointed leader of the pack. Her one-bedroom flat near Hampstead Tube Station had seen better days. In her late 40s, with 2 failed marriages behind her, Ali maintained a dishevelled appearance. It didn't detract from her razor-sharp mind, even if the faint whiff of stale cat piss caught in the back of any passer-by's throat. Dressed head to toe in black, she moved to her battered pine bookcase. Damon made himself comfortable in a frayed cloth armchair, emptying his shoulder bag onto the glass coffee table. "Of course I brought it, Ali. I also brought you an ounce of the finest Moroccan." "Good boy. Now, be a darling and fetch my bong. Tonight promises to be illuminating." She retrieved a large tea-stained parchment and placed it next to the scroll. Pouring herself a hefty glass of red wine, she gestured, "There's Peroni in the fridge, or whiskey if you prefer." Damon was already back with a bottle of lager and an ornate glass bong. "Found it," he grinned as Ali downed her wine in one gulp. Seconds later, the room filled with the bubbling sound of Ali inhaling deeply from the bong. "Oh, that's better." She collapsed into her sofa, magically refilled glass in hand. "The pizzas are on their way." A muffled conversation drifted in from the hallway. The doorbell rang. "Come in, Simone. Door's open." Cy sauntered in. Friends since senior school, she had maintained a slimmer build than Ali and loved showcasing her cleavage in her tight leather catsuit. Her zip lowered just enough to hint at scandal. Her blonde hair, once dyed in the 90s, now defied any living memory of its natural shade. She dropped the pizza boxes on the table, kicked off blood-red heels and sighed in relief as she slipped into her pink mule slippers she had taken out of her bag. "Thank God for that! My feet are bloody killing me." She arched her back, moaning involuntarily. "Got a glass for me, then?" Ali poured her friend a glass of Merlot while Damon tore into the pizzas like a starved bear. Genetics, along with poor life choices, had not been kind to Damon. With a voice half librarian, half North London pub, Ali asked, "What was the commotion outside?" "Oh, the delivery girl had a rather divine figure, so I invited her to come play Twister at my house tomorrow." Cy never needed to work. Her gifts provided all she needed. Ali laughed. "Let me guess, she refused your advances, so you resorted to a bit of spirit whistling to make her compliant." Cy feigned shock. "Who? Moi? Well, I might have used a small enchantment on her. Just fancied a quick fondle, just to get my juices going." She smiled as she examined her crimson gel nails. "I've kept her number just in case." "Or wish she'd get me some skirt," Damon mumbled, pizza sauce on his chin. "Geez, I'd even have a go at you." A small piece of pepperoni appeared at the corner of his mouth. Quickly and with a slurping sound it disappeared. "I reckon I could get your juices going." "Oh, stop it, you two," Ali interrupted. "Sex, sex, sex, that's all you two think about. It's like a teenage slumber party gone wrong. No, tonight We must focus our energies, so eat, drink, and let's get stoned. She waved a finger in Damon's direction. And can you leave yourself alone, please? 30 minutes later, the pizza boxes were stacked high on a kitchen worktop. Ali opened a third bottle of red while Damon cradled a massive whiskey. So, Mrs. A.W.H., Damon slurred, cigarette paper hanging from his lip. What's this all about? Ali ignored his question and eyed Cy. Did you bring the almanac, Miss Wren? Cy handed over a thin, well-thumbed pocket-book entitled The Book of Thoth. This book by Alistair Crowley cost me a pretty penny, I can tell you, she lied. Ali snorted. Liar! You've never paid for anything in your life. Cy smirked. True, but it cost me a little of my dignity. I had to act as a naked satyr for that greasy old man before he drank the spiked wine. And then, of course, I had to wait an hour after he died so the poison couldn't be traced. Ali's brow creased. You did wait the full hour. Yes, Ali. I even staged it as a homoerotic suicide as per your instructions. Cy reapplied her lipstick. The map's inside. Ali unfolded the map, parchment and scroll. Right then, let's see where we are going on our summer holidays. Damon, hazy but attentive, watched as Ali struggled to fit the pieces together. For God's sake, give it here. He passed her a spliff. You might be brilliant with spells, but you're rubbish with puzzles. He folded the scroll diagonally, rotated it and laid it over the parchment. Then he slid the scrap from Crowley's notebook between them until only a corner showed. Ta-da! Cy squinted. Yeah, what the hell's that? Ali, half amused, half irritated, sneered. Oh, do enlighten us, Professor. She took a long drag on her Camberwell carrot. Damon spoke slowly. Your parchment doesn't just show field boundaries. Those are ley lines. Now, look at the scroll with the canal ditches. More ley lines. Add these to Crowley's ley line map, reinterpret the lot, and hey presto, we get our location. Cy sighed. Well, I'll be damned. And I thought all demon hunters were as thick as shit. Ali's mind clicked into gear. Damon, check the point of convergence on Google Maps. She turned to Cy. What did Crowley say about the book spells? Oh, nothing useful, Cy shrugged. I might not have been listening clearly. I was sitting on his face at the time. She paused. Well, I had to try and have some fun at least. Him having a goatee beard helped a little. Ali rolled her eyes. You're impossible. She flipped pages in the book as she entered a trance-like state. Wait, it can't be. She paused as she cleared her head. He wouldn't make it so bloody obvious, would he? And with her index finger she ran the tip along the printed page. Well, bugger me. It's the first letters of each sentence. Her companions shrugged their shoulders. Look, she read aloud, the spell to summon the great Gene Genie is, and she copied it into her own leather-bound tome, A Book of Spells by A.W.H. Got it! Damon whooped. It's near Pendle Hill, in the back of someone's garden. Ali zoomed in on the map. Pendle Hill, of course. It had to be. The Witches of Pendle execution site. She toggled to Street View. It's a guest house. Even better. She booked it immediately for their upcoming solstice. The solstice arrives.
Oh, hello, dear. Are you here to check in?
Yes, my friends are unloading the car. Ali looked exhausted from her M6 crawl.
That's lovely. You are?
Ali pointed at the register. Ms. A.W.H.
Oh, that's a lovely name. I'm Morag.
Cy leaned forward, pointing to a name in the visitor's book. Miss Wren, but please call me Cy, and this is Damon Hunter.
Right you are, dear. Now, if you'd like to follow me up to the first floor, I can show you to your rooms.
Morag's Scottish lilt softened the oddity of her pearls and pinafore ensemble, weirdly offset by thick black socks and her hobnailed boots. She ascended like a ghost as her guests trailed behind.
Dinner is at 6 p.m. sharp. Roast beef or not roast, plus all the trimmings. The smoking area is outside on the decking. Just turn left at the end of the corridor. If you have any questions, please shout. Enjoy your stay.
Later, out in the garden's smoking area, they each lit a pre-made spliff before heading off to the small paved area at the bottom of the garden. Ali's tiger eye amulet warmed as they approached the patio centre. "This is it," she whispered. Damon leered. So, do we get naked first?" "No sodden way," Cy snapped, waving him off. But what if we can't control, it? Shouldn't we have a little fun, just in case?" Damon pleaded. "Unlike your libido, we will be able to control it," Ali said flatly. "Now, let's go and get something to eat. We have a long day tomorrow." The tiger's eye stone cooled as they headed back into the house. Dinner passed with Morag's eerie attentiveness. As she cleared the plates, she unexpectedly offered them wine and whiskey in the smoking area. Cy frowned. "Ali, I didn't enchant her. At least, I don't think I did. I tried to spirit whistle, but..." "Oh, you losing your touch?" Damon teased. "No, I tried, but nothing." Cy looked uneasy. Ali ignored them, raising her glass. "Well, anyway, let's raise a toast to good friends and terrible ideas." They laughed nervously. "So, while we wait for sunrise, shall we play a little game and guess what each other is going to wish for?" Ali proposed. "Let's start with Damon." "Oh, that's easy," Cy said. "Unlimited sex, and he'll want them to pay him for the privilege." Damon beamed his approval. "And my dear Cy will wish for eternal youth," Ali continued. Cy nodded proudly. "And you, Ali?" Damon started. Ali smiled. Cy knew her true power, far beyond what Damon imagined. She knew that her friend was already the most powerful witch of all time. She had known that from the very first time that they had met. It was, after all, Ali that had bestowed the skills of a spirit whistler on her. Ali winked at Cy as she said, "All I want is to be a better witch." Ali produced 3 chunky silver rings with deep purple amethysts. "Put them on your right middle finger," she commanded. From her pocket she took out a large moonstone, which she held in her open palm. "Now, I will place this stone in the centre of the converging ley lines. As the first light of the morning sun caresses the stone, I will begin an incantation, summoning the Gene Genie into this world. We will use the crystal as a strong box, demanding our 3 wishes to release him back to his hell hole. The stone will grow as he is going to be pissed. And that's when I want you to point to it with your ring. She paused briefly. The amethysts will absorb any extra energy, stopping the stone from expanding. Any questions? They shook their heads. Ali checked her watch. Almost time. One more spliff and maybe a coffee. At dawn they stood on the patio. The moonstone shimmered as the first rays hit it. Ali began her incantation. Her voice 1,000 echoes in one. The stone grew, pulsing. "Now," she commanded. They pointed their rings. Blue arcs of energy connected to the moonstone. Suddenly, Morag approached, carrying tea.
"I thought you might want this, my dears."
They gaped, immobilized. Damon managed a strained, "We're a bit busy." Cy whistled at Morag, but her attempt was blocked. Morag smiled.
"Oh, my dear siren, the problem you have failed to understand as a spirit whistler is that the communication link has to be open at both ends."
Morag turned her gaze towards Ali.
"Your Richie friend Ali knew that when she gave you the power, she knows your thoughts before you do. It's all about control, after all, isn't it?"
Cy's eyes widened as she looked at Ali. "You bitch!" "I think you mean witch," Ali quipped. Morag turned to Damon.
"You may be a witch and Ali, but you didn't invite him to the party, did you?"
Ali shook her head, struggling to control the energy field. She watched in horror as Damon's body split down the middle, revealing Tosk, a scarlet-skinned lizard demon. He laughed as the energy strip connecting him to the moonstone began to change colour, matching his skin tone. He lashed out with his right arm, sending Morag crashing to the floor. "You bastard! That's where you've been hiding," Ali hissed. "I've waited years for this." Tosk cackled. "As they say, keep your friends close and your enemies closer, my love." He bowed theatrically before grabbing Cy's energy beam. It, too, began to turn red, and as it did so, Cy screamed, her face melting in silent horror, her clothes crumpled to the floor. Ali screamed, "No!" Tosk advanced. 17 years stuck inside that slob, but here we are. You without your defences, and me free again," he smiled. "So tell me, have you missed me?" "I miss the man that you were, but not the demon you became." She spat the words as he took another step towards her. She froze as red energy beams crept towards her. Tosk loomed over her, triumphant. "How does it feel to die?" Ali opened her mouth to scream, but it was lost to the echoes of silence. With eyes full of hatred, Tosk watched his former partner dissolve into oblivion. Slowly and deliberately he turned his attention towards the moonstone. "The great Gene Genie, we meet at last," he smiled. "It's at this point that you beg me to release you and in return grant me 3 wishes. Hello, Tosk," an eternally deep voice boomed. "All in good time, my friend. Tell me, do you know anything about pearls?" Tosk frowned. "Some say they can heal or protect." "Good. A second question, if I may." Gene Genie paused briefly. "Do you ever watch your back?" Tosk barely registered the question before an iron blade pierced his skin. He sank to his knees, mouth open, gasping for breath. From behind him emerged Morag, clutching her pearl necklace. The energy lines reverted to blue as Tosk's body vanished, leaving behind 3 silver amethyst rings. Morag put them in her pinafore pocket and watched as the moonstone shrank and shattered. The morning sunlight warmed her face and she sighed contentedly. Hello, gatekeeper, said the newly incarnated Gene Genie. Now flesh and blood, he stepped forward. And a happy birthday, my love.
Hello, husband, she replied, offering him a cup of tea. It's still hot.
The end. Hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please like, subscribe, and I'll catch up with you next time. Take care and stay safe.